What's going on, y'all? Back in the shop again. We're going to be doing some maintenance on the Ferris 3200Z. Going to be changing the oil, the spark plugs, the fuel filter, the air filter, and going to probably be changing the blades, and we're going to grease it all up. It's going to be a full maintenance video on it. And this is all the stuff I just ordered for this year. Got the outer filters, inner filters, spark plugs, the fuel filters, oil filter, another oil filter, hydro filters. Got my AMS all in, and got this picked up at Walmart, just a conventional 2050, cheapest stuff you can find. I'm going to be doing the hydro change with that. And I got me some fuel filters and spark plugs for all my trimmers and two-stroke equipment. So y'all stay tuned. Alright, so I've already done videos on maintenance on this machine already, with the oil change, the hydros, all of that. I'm going to leave links in the description if you want to go and watch them. But the first thing I'm going to do is change the air filters, the inner and the outer air filter. I change the outer twice a year, and this once a year. And that's simple enough. I think I can even do that with one hand. And it pulls off. It's probably dirty right now. There it goes. Yeah, it's pretty dusty. And usually every other day I'll get home and I'll see all the dust coming out. I'll do that, or I'll take my blow gun and blow from the inside out. But I'm going to throw this one away because it's from last fall, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and put a new outer and a new inner. So I'm going to pull that one out too. It looks good, but trust me, it's dirty. And you basically just want to make sure that you push on both ends because it's going to come completely through. Gonna have to probably put the camera down. Hang on a second. Alright, I got that in. And the outer filter just goes right on top of it. Gonna put the camera down again, use two hands. Alright, that's done. I'm going to put this back on. It says top right here. And that's done. And in case you needed the model numbers for the air filters, that's the outer and that's the inner. Alright, we got a couple of spark plugs to change now. There's the model numbers. And it's a 5/8, and they're located right at the engine right here. Just go ahead and plug them and swap them out. One there and one there. Just try to be careful when you're unplugging it. Kind of work it a little. You don't want to jerk on it and break it like so. Let's see if I can get that out with one hand. Alright, let's see what this one. There it goes. Get my wrench. And that's done. Alright, the next thing is the fuel filter, and it's located right here. Usually sitting right there, but it has enough slack to where I can just easily get to it. Here's the new one. I'm going to put it in the same position. And here's the model number. And that's basically very easy. Just take the pliers and pinch this, move it over, move that over, pull it apart, and stick it in. And that's done. So I wanted to show this. I said that it actually sits right here, which I usually don't actually. It sits right here. And it's got plenty of room for the seat. And the reason I say that is because if I put it on this side, it kinks that line. So I'm going to put it on this side, just like that. And I change this twice a year as well. Alright, I guess the next thing I'm going to do is change the oil. This is what I'm using, the 20W50 synthetic Ames oil. Got the sticker on it. That's what I've been running ever since I bought it, pretty much. After the first couple oil changes, we started using this stuff. Works pretty good. This is supposed to be a 500-hour oil change, is what they recommend, or every year. I change the filter and the oil every 250, which is still awesome. Only having to change this twice a year instead of changing it like 5 times a year like this one. Basically, you just loosen the valve at the bottom. There's no tools required other than to cut this tire out. I'm going to use cut that off, unscrew it. The oil filter's inside, and I'm going to put 5 quarts in it. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, I got the lid off. It's basically just a half turn. It folds over after you cut the tire out. And there's the oil filter. You just turn that. They have these notches right here, and basically just turn it to lock it in and line it up, pull it out. And I've actually had to use some pliers to pull it out because it doesn't really have much of a handle here other than 2 fingers. So you just latch on with some pliers and give it a good tug to break it loose from the seal. And as you can see, it doesn't look the prettiest, but this is about 300 hours right here. I'm going to go ahead and discard this one, drain the oil, and put the new oil in. We have a little whiteboard up here, and this is the last oil change for the 3 mowers, and we write them down. We write down the hours and the date it was changed. And we started doing that last year, and that seemed to work pretty good. I'm keeping a log on how often we change it and when we changed it. Another thing I do every year for this mower is adjust the valves. I personally don't know how to do that, and I can't find any videos on how to do it. So if anybody knows a link to one, if you want to leave in the comments, that'd be great, because I'd like to learn how to do it. I usually bring it to my dealer once a year. I think he charges like $125 labor, plus the gasket and plus the oil that comes out that they have to replace. Alright, the oil's all drained out. Pulled the oil catch out. I went ahead and closed the valve and put the little dust cover on the bottom. Now, and they also supply you with a new tire wrap with the oil filter. New oil filter's in already. I'm going to go ahead and pour my oil directly into it. I got 4 quarts here, and I'm going to pour 1 quart of this in there. Alright, so I poured 4 quarts in. I'm going to go ahead and just show you how the dipstick is. And you can see it's about halfway in between the 2 dots. Alright, I just guesstimated about a quart more. Let's see how close I am. There's the 2 dots. The top one is just a hair over that, and I think I can live with that. So we're just going to go ahead and put this back on. Just goes like that. Turn it. Line it up. And before I put the tie wrap, I'm just going to go ahead and start it and run it. Make sure everything's doing right. So I don't know if y'all can hear that. I just started it up after the oil change to make sure everything's going right. And I've been noticing this vibration noise, and I just looked at it, and this belt seems kind of loose and floppy. And these are the idler pulleys for the drive system. I'm thinking maybe the bearings are going out on that, or the belt needs changing. It's been a while since I've changed that belt. I think I've changed it once, but I'm going to change it again, and I'm probably going to check those bearings, make sure they're not going out, and replace those if they need replacing. So that'll be on the list too. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is change the hydros on this bad boy. Ferris. And these are the model numbers right here for the oil filters for the hydro systems, the ZT5400 transaxles. And I've been using the cheapest oil I can find from Walmart right here, just conventional 2050. 2050 is what it calls for. And the reason I go with the cheapest for this particular change is that you got to put one of these in each reservoir for this mower, and that could get pretty expensive using some synthetic or anything. And I just change it once a year. I've had no problems using this, and the oil always looks clean whenever it comes out. It doesn't break down. So I'm gonna continue just using the cheapest stuff they got as far as the hydros go. So I went ahead and backed the mower out here before I do the hydro oil change. I don't know if you can tell, but it's pretty nasty and dirty. I did a video the other day mowing the pasture over here, and it got pretty nasty. So I'll show you underneath how dirty it is. But I got me some super clean. Oop, my finger's in the way. I got me some super clean. I'm gonna spray a little bit of that and just hose it off, just so I can do the maintenance without getting any trash in the system. All right, y'all stay tuned. All right, guys. So I went ahead and took some super clean and sprayed it all down, hosed it off a little bit. It's not spotless, but it's a lot better than it was. Now I can at least work on it without being disgusted. So normally when I change the hydro fluid, I'll take my jack and jack it up. I'll take the wheels off, put it on jack stands, just so I can have a whole lot of access underneath there. And I think I'm going to try something different this time, just to see. Just put a couple of 2x6s, drove up on it to where I have enough space to put my oil catch underneath there, and I'm gonna see if that works. Alright, so the tools you're gonna need, at least what I'm gonna use, is a little hook tool or a pick tool, whatever you want to call it. And I'm basically gonna use this to just pull the old oil filter out. It's got like a little band or something on the end of it where you can catch it and yank it out. And I'm going to be using this impact with a swivel, and it is a 1 1/8 socket. And basically Let me get under here. That nut or bolt, whatever you want to call it, it's a cap basically. That's what you're going to be taking it out with the impact. And one on that side. I got 2 oil pans here, an old one and a new one. I actually scored, let's see, I think this one, a brand new one. It was in the dumpster behind an auto parts store. Nothing wrong with it. So I scored on that. I got one just like it. So I'm going to try to drain both sides at the same time. See if this will go a little faster. Stay tuned. So that worked pretty good. They're both draining. And this is what the caps look like right here. And it's got these little rubber seals on it. You want to just pull that off. It comes with a new O-ring with the filter. And just put that on. Discard the old one. And the hook tool I showed the first time was kind of too big. This one right here will work just fine now. And this is what I was talking about, how it has this little, the glare's bad, so it has this little thing right here. That darn light. But yeah, basically like that. And you just pull it on out, because it's going to have some suction to it. And they're still in there right now. I'll see if I can get that on camera. Come on. Why aren't you hooking? Sorry, I had to put the camera down because I couldn't see what I was doing. But this is basically it. I'm going to go ahead and pull that side out and let it finish draining. Alright, another thing you're supposed to do is this little bolt right here. You got to pull that out. And or at least loosen it, but I usually pull it out. So whenever you refill the reservoirs, you're going to fill it until it starts spewing out of here. You hurry up and screw it on and make sure your full level is where it indicates right here. So I'm going to take these caps off while they're straining to let it vent. You can hear it, it'll drain quicker. Try not to get any trash or anything in there. Make sure everything's clean. And you're going to put 1 5-quart jug in each one of these reservoirs. Alright, so we've been dripping for a while. There's still a few drops falling here and there, but that's good enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and take the new filters, stick them in, and then I'm going to start my caps and screw them in as much as I can by hand. Remove these out of the way so I can get my impact in there easier. In order to loosen it, I had to remove these out of the way and to loosen it, and then hurry up and put it underneath, you know, when I pulled it off to let them drain. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll check back with you. Alright, so I put my oil filters back in. You might want to make sure they're pushed all the way in on each side. Put your caps on and make sure you do it by hand. Make sure it's screwed in all the way, not cross-threaded. And with the oil pans out of the way, you have easy access with the impact. And the only reason I use a swivel is because I don't have an extension that short. So it just puts it just at the right angle. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. I have it at the lowest setting, and I'm just going to bump it. That's as tight as I'm going to put it. Maybe one more. Go ahead and do this side, and that'll be a wrap for down here. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that. This is the motor deck right here, and I've got a light shining. I got a number 3 flathead screwdriver. If you can see just below that belt over there on the wheel motor, there's a screw that you have to turn clockwise in order to release the pressure on the the hydro system. And you have to do that to purge the air out after you put the new oil in. So before you pour the new oil in and try to use it, you want to make sure you disengage the pressure of the hydros right here. Also, if the mower breaks down and you need to roll it around in order not to damage the pumps, you want to turn that little key. It's about a quarter turn. You turn it to the right. It's a little tough to do. You kind of got to stretch across. I find this is the easiest way. Drop the deck as low as it'll go and get a long screwdriver, a flat edge screwdriver like a number 3, and turn it a quarter blades to the right. And you're gonna go on the other side of the mower and reach this way for this pump right here and do it to the left. It's just, I think it's to the left or to the right, which it's only gonna go one way, but you want to release both sides. Alright guys, I'm still waiting for this oil to drain out of the hole down there. And this plate was right here. I guess it's some kind of guard to protect the fan shroud and all that. They don't have one on that side. I guess they had to remove it to put the oil guard system on it. But I'm going to just remove this side because it's kind of a pain in the butt each time I do this every year to get access to that bolt. And this way I can blow it out and clean it out a lot easier. I don't think it's very much necessary. Alright, finally the oil started seeping out. Got my bolt in. I'm going to tighten it up. And that's the oil level, way at the bottom. Right down here. And that's where you want to keep it on cold. Because when it gets warm, it's going to come all the way up to here. Alright, pour the rest of the jug in this back one. It's draining pretty good. Once it gets closer to that level, like the front one, you're going to see it come out in the hole over here more than likely. So I'm going to be ready for it. Let's see if I can catch it on camera. Come on, man. Losing patience. Four centuries later. Yep, there we go. There she blows. Come on, get it started. Don't drop the nut. Don't drop the bolt. Ah, come on. There we go. You gotta be quicker than that, Jason. Got spillage. But there it is. We're gonna tighten that up. And we're gonna put the lid back on this. Stay tuned. So the next thing we gotta do is start the mower up. Take the brake off and then go back and forth with the controls. Forward, back, forward, back. I'm explaining this before I start it because you won't hear it with the engine running. And basically that's going to purge any excess air that's in the line out. And remember to disengage the pumps before you do it, otherwise the mower's going to move back and forth. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. deck again. Go underneath the mower and turn those little keys back to the original position. Lift your deck back up in the transport position, and then go and drive it around. Make sure everything's working good. Make sure you don't have no leaks, and that's it. Alright, y'all. Alright, so the next thing we're going to be doing is greasing the spindles and all the other points of the mower. But let's get to those spindles first. I'm going to drop the deck all the way, and I'm going to blow out all the excess dirt and grease next to the spindles to where I can see when the grease comes out. So I went ahead and removed this. I dropped the deck. Now I'm going to go, and this may be noisy, but I like to blow the tip out, make sure nothing gets in when I got grease. And then right here, I like to do that, because that's where the grease is going to spew out on these particular spindles. And I want to show how much grease these spindles take. It takes a lot. I haven't greased them in probably a month, but I haven't been using it much, so usually I'll have to do it every other day. So I don't know if you can see that under the pulley where it's shiny. I usually just take my blow gun and blow it out to where I can see all of that right there, because that's where the grease is going to come out. And as you come this way to the deck, it gets harder and harder to see underneath because you have this in the way. So you have to get from like this angle and make sure you clean that spot there. Alright, now we can grease it. Alright, so this is the grease gun I use. It's the 12 volt, the M12 Milwaukee. I don't know if you can see that, but that is the model number. Bought this, I think, on sale for $175, and it's been a lifesaver. I love it. The battery lasts forever. And this is the battery right here. There. Works great. It's got a little thing to show the battery life. I want to show how much comes out with, you can hear the sound. So you can see a lot comes out. Didn't want to make a mess, but I want to show you how many pumps go into this thing and how much grease is actually going in. I'm gonna clean all that up. Alright, so I don't know when I changed the tube last in this thing, so we may have to refill it. But I'm gonna go ahead and go. Usually in the summer, it takes anywhere from 80 to 100 pumps in this each spindle, which is a lot. During the winter, it doesn't get hot and it doesn't break down this grease. I don't know where the grease goes, but it eats up a lot of grease. But lately I haven't been worrying about it too much. Alright, here we go. There it goes. So I counted 40, which is still a lot, but way better than during the summer. The summer, you're looking at least double that. So that's how it's gonna go on each one of them. I just wanted to show you because this one's got the easiest access to see, and as you go this way, it's harder and harder to look underneath it. And sometimes I'll just be in a hurry and I don't even wait for it to come out and fill it completely. I'll just pump a few pumps in it each day just to keep it alive. So these are the cast iron spindles, the Hercules 2 they call them. The Z2 that I have, have aluminum spindles, and the relief valve it's like a little check valve underneath the mower deck, and you actually have to jack up the mower and watch for it to come out there, which they hold a lot of grease as well. But here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and pump, and you can watch. And if you can hear the sound, it doesn't have like a pulse anymore, it's just constant. That means the grease is out of this gun. See, you got nothing coming out, barely. So we're gonna go and refill that. So this is the grease that I've been using. I used to use the cheapest stuff I could find, but I find this lasts a little bit longer. And I've heard good reviews about the red and tacky grease. I wanna say it's like $5 a tube. I believe $4 or $5 a tube. But in order to change this, you want to pull your battery out. Just unscrew it. Undo this. You might want to be careful if you've never done this. Fooling with this little edge, it'll cut the hell out of your finger. But I don't like to waste any, so. I say that and I just wasted some on the video earlier, huh? Just pull this back. Slide that. And also, you want to kind of push it down and get all the air pockets out, because for some reason it doesn't want to load up and start coming out. You gotta like prime it and all kind of stuff. So if I'm pushing it like this and get all the air pockets out, it works pretty good. Just screw it in. Push this in, and there's this little check valve right here. You push it in. You do that a few times, and that'll kind of release any air pockets, any excess air pockets. Put your battery back in, and we're going to check, see if it starts coming out, because sometimes it won't. Sometimes it takes a little while to build up in here, so we're going to go ahead and finish up. So I lost count how many before it ran out, so we'll just count from here on. What are we doing?
It came out.
Oh, it's coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So I'm thinking it's about 40 on that one as well. I think I was about halfway. Alright, we're going to do the last one.
Up.
42. Alright, now that we've greased the spindles on the deck, I'm going to try to hit all the points on here. I think I know where all of them are. There's a bunch of them. If you know of any that I missed, leave it in the comments. But I'm going to lower this deck just to get access. I'm going to start right here. So I'm going to raise the seat to get access to these right here. It's the rear control arms. I don't know if you can see them. They're two black control arms right here. And there's one there. And then one right here. Alright. I don't know if you could see this. Alright. I usually do this once a year at least. And to get access to those easily, you want to drop the deck all the way. It'll make the control arm pivot to where the angle of the alemite is facing in the right direction. All right, so we can put the seat back. So we got one right here. You'll see it come out right here, or down here. And we've got one back here. Let me get some light on that for you. This one's a tad bit difficult because your tire is in the way. Alright. Now we have this one right here. Put this light on there for you. Now my mower didn't come with this one at an angle. I put this one on, it was facing straight up, which I think is a design flaw because you can't plug it. So you might want to unscrew it and get you an angle one for that one. Went out right here. Alright. Now we have the fork right here. I probably wouldn't advise to just keep pumping until it pops off, because this is probably just will pop off. I'm gonna just put a few pumps in there. I think that'll be enough. And before I leave that side, get this wheel here. Same thing, and just put a few pumps. Alright, we're gonna do this one. Alright, that's about 8 pumps. Alright. We got this angled in right here. Ooh. Alright, there it goes. Making a mess. I'll clean that up later. Alright. Do this back on and get some light. Very, very dirty. That's what happens when you work. Alright, now I think we got all the grease points. I count 15 total. You got the 3 on the spindles, 2 on the wheels, 2 on the forks. You got 4 on these pivots here, 2 on this side, 2 on that side. And then on that pivot right here, 1 on each side. And then on the rear control arms, 1 on each side. So I'm counting 15. If y'all know of any others that I'm supposed to be hitting, let me know. Alright, let's move on to tires next. So we're just going to check the tire pressure on all of them. Actually just the 2 in the back, because the front do not have air. They are solid. And I usually keep about 15 pounds, you know, on my rear tires, no matter what the size. See if we get the light on there. And that looks like we're good on that one. Check the other side. Not sure why that one had more, but we're good. 15 pounds there. Next, we'll swap the blades and make sure the deck is scraped, and then we'll be ready to mow. So these are the blades that I use. They're the true mulching blades. That's the ones that come with the mulch kit with the baffles and all of that. So I use these for side discharge and for when I have the baffles installed in a mulching application, and they work just great for me. So I don't like use all different kind of blades. I just stick to these. They work well. I like to use the setting number 3 to remove them, but whenever I put it on the middle one, because this thing will definitely over tighten these. I'm gonna just pull all the old blades off first, and then I'm gonna scrape the deck. Ooh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Thought I hit your knee. I tell you what, that don't look too bad for not sharpening them for like the past 4 or 5 months. Been running over everything. So this is what the deck looks like. It's been a while since I cleaned underneath here. Probably 4 or 5 months. What's bad, the longer you let this sit on here, it turns to concrete.
But we got that nifty scraper from
GIE.
GIE.
From the GIE. I got 2 of them. My other one I gave to my buddy Paul Outlaw. And I know he likes it because I've seen him use it in the videos. And that's PaulsPrimeCuts. Y'all go subscribe. I tell you what, I hate this part. Another reason we don't like doing morning mowing. Wait for that dew to leave. But sometimes you don't have a choice. Oh, wait, do you want to clean this one? This is fairly clean. Good enough. There's only way you can So like I was saying earlier, when I install them, make sure it's not on high, because it will over torque these and you'll never get them off again without a big cheater pipe. And this is the way you want to install them. Several times I've installed them this way. They don't work good that way. They don't cut worth a damn that way. So you want to go this way. Start it by hand. And then you can crank it down. And that one's done. Let's move on to the other side. Time to do more concrete work. I'll just chip away at it. Either. All right, let's do some weight on.
One more shiny new blade.
Yep. And you don't have to, but just personal preference, I like to align all my blades the same direction when I bolt it up. Even though it's probably going to get off once you start cutting. Just my OCD kicking in.